I am Dr. Dimple Patel. I teach Library and Information Science at Central University of Himachal Pradesh. Today I am going to talk about the module 7, that is enhancing the outreach of special libraries using ICT applications, which comes under the paper Special and Research Libraries. The learning objectives of this module are going to be: know the role, services and activities of the special libraries, learn about NKC recommendations for the libraries, learn about various ICT tools which can be implemented in special libraries to enhance its outreach activities. As you might have learnt in an introductory module in the special and research libraries, special libraries are generally libraries which are connected with certain institution or organization. It can be private or government or a non-governmental organization. Hence they are called special libraries because the users are specialized users. They are targeted users. There is a targeted clientele for in the special libraries. So their needs, their information needs and the services which we need to provide have to be really customized. Then as you might also have learnt that in special libraries there are certain special services which are given more importance apart from the regular library duties like acquisition, circulation, etc. The special services which we provide in special libraries are current awareness services, selective dissemination of information, indexing and abstracting, reference service and referral services. Now, a National Knowledge Commission was formed in 2012 and they have given certain recommendations for the libraries. There was a special working group for libraries under the National Knowledge Commission. So, in order, the NKC has also recommended that there should be a centralized national bibliographic records which users from anywhere can access and know from where information resources are located and find them. And also they have highly recommended open access to research as well as learning resources, information resources, and also open source software. To implement open access for the information resources, they have recommended the open source software. And to use open source software, we also need to follow open source standards. I am going to deal with 4 components. That is, the first is free software or open source software. Today we call it as free and open source software. The second concept is live CDs. The third is Web 2.0 technologies, and the fourth is how to implement virtual libraries. Now, first of all, I would like to disambiguate this term. Free software doesn't mean only free of cost. The main thing here, the stress should be on the user freedom. Richard Stallman of Free Software Foundation has explained 4 kinds of freedom which should be given with any software. The first is that we should be able to use the software, we in the sense the user should be able to use the software for any purpose. That means if the software is free of cost, I may in turn use it either for my personal use or I can even use it for commercial use if I want to use it. The second freedom is to study how the program works. This is especially important for software developers. In the sense, even if I buy a software, I should be able to open the source code, look at it And third kind of freedom is I should be able to modify it. If I need any kind of customization, or I need to remove any bugs, or I need any kind of improvements in the software, I should be able to do. So the fourth freedom is that I should be able to redistribute this program or software to anybody else. Even if I modify, even if a user is modifying the software, they should again be able to redistribute, but the only condition put here is under the same license, that is free license, open license. There is another concept called as open source software. Under the definition of open source software as given by Open Source Initiative, OSI organization, is it has to fulfill the following 10 criteria. The first is free distribution, that is anybody who procures a software under open license should be able to freely distribute this software to others. Second is source code, that is along with the binary code, the installable code, even the source code where a user is able to modify the software also should be given to the user, and the user should be able to look at the code and also modify it. Third is derived works. Open source license puts a restriction that if I modify a software which I have obtained under open source license, then I have to make my derived work, my modified software also available under open source license. Fourth is the integrity of the author's source code, that is the author of the software has to be given proper credit. Looking at the source code or being free to redistribute it does not mean that you do not give the author the proper credit. The author has to be given proper credit. Fifth is no discrimination against persons or groups. There has to be no discrimination about distribution of software. That is, you cannot say that I will make it available only for personal use but not for commercial use. Or you cannot say that I will make it use only for commercial use but not personal use. Sixth is no discrimination against fields of endeavor. That is, you should not say that the software which I can use in physics if I want, I should be able to use in social sciences also, and vice versa. License must not be specific to a product. License should not be specific to the product. If I am modifying and making it available, the same license should be passed on with the modified software also. Taking a software under open source license, modifying it and then making it proprietary, that is closed access, is not acceptable under the open source licensing conditions. Then license must not restrict other software. That is, if I want to integrate the software which I have written with other software, I should have the freedom to do so. So the 10th condition is that license must be technology neutral. It should not be specific to a particular technology. Even though when we read the freedoms as described by Richard Stallman and the conditions which are required to fulfill the open source software definition given by OSI, Richard Stallman still does not believe in the term open source software. There is lot of debate among people who support the term free software as defined by Richard Stallman and people who define open source software as defined by OSI. Richard Stallman gives us an example of Android software. Android is an open source software. But if you look at the apps which are developed for Android software, the code for those apps are not available under open source. So this, he says, is against the freedom of the user. So this is the reason nowadays professionally many people prefer to use a sort of combined term which is called as free and open source software. So FOSS has become a very commonly used word now. It is variantly known as free and open source software, free licensed and open source software, that is some people even call it FLOSS, or free libre and open source software. Libre means liberty, giving liberty to the user to use the software as and when they want, as and where they want, and again further share and redistribute as they want. Now let us see why we are stressing so much on free and open source software. Let us look at the advantages of using free and open source software. Of course, for libraries, the first and foremost advantage is, coincidentally, not as a mandatory requirement, the free and open source software are mostly free of cost also. Libraries being cash crunched, this is a very important criteria for us, because we can adopt and implement advanced software without much budget burden on the libraries. The second important factor is, if we find that we need any customization or we need any improvements in the software, then free and open source software comes with the source code, so we can get them modified or customized according to libraries. Third is the upgrade and updations which are available are again free of cost. Second, there is no vendor lock-in for updations or upgradations. For proprietary software, you have to wait till the company or the person or organization updates or upgrades the software. With the advantage with free and open source software is that there are many people involved in this movement, many software developers. So anybody can pick up the source code from the concerned website and modify, improve or customize the software. Then there are many hardware which are dependent on specialized software called as firmware. So the advantage with free and open source software is they also provide you with firmware. And another advantage of FOSS is that the prerequisite software for using any open source software again in turn will be open source. So finding the software and implementing the prerequisite software also is much easier. The other advantage is that there is no question of annual maintenance contract, which sometimes becomes a huge burden on the library budget. Free and open source software is a huge community with a huge software developers involved, and hence the support is also instant. You only need to write an email and within few minutes you get lot of support from various software developers and also the users of the software. You need not wait till the vendor sends the concerned person, unlike proprietary software. Hence, these are the reasons that libraries are now largely looking up to free and open source software. Some of the software relating to library services which you can use in the library are in library automation. To automate your library, Koha is presently the most popular and most used software in India, because it is not only free and open source software, but it also provides all the features which are required by a library in terms of acquisitions, circulation, import and export of library catalog records from other libraries, and all these features. There are other it doesn't mean Koha is the only one. There are many other software like Evergreen and ABCD. Digital libraries. To host digital libraries, presently according to the website's Registry of Open Access Repositories and Open Directory of Open Access Registries, DSpace is the most used and most installed not only in India but also in the world. There are other software next to DSpace's ePrints, and there is another software which is used a lot in Indian libraries, that is Greenstone Digital Library, GSDL. For content management, that is, for example, if you want to host your library website, or if you want to start your own social networking with your library users, you can use content management software. Most of the libraries in India are now using Joomla, and Drupal is also another free and open source software for content management, and Plone is another content management software. For routine office work, that is like we use generally we use Word or PowerPoint or Access database in libraries which are proprietary. The free and open source alternatives for these are LibreOffice and OpenOffice. Operating systems, Linux operating system is an option, where Ubuntu is right now the most used and most user friendly operating system. So the next component which I would like to talk about is about live CDs or live USBs. The concept of live CD or live USB is that I have a pre-installed system in the CD or in the USB stick. So the advantage of having a pre-installed system in a CD or a USB is that I can use it for testing without installing on the system. I can use it for learning, I can use it for teaching, and there are live CDs which are available which help you in rescuing your system. For example, if your system is stuck, hung up, there is a system rescue CD which is again Linux based, which you can use to repair your system, retrieve your lost data and get your system back to its previous working state. Live USB sticks, unlike the CDs, can be made persistent. Persistent means you can make a pre-installed live USB, plus you can even store the data when you are working through the live USB. In live CD, when you are working on the live CD, whatever work you have done cannot be saved, will not, even if it shows that it has saved, once you reboot the system, the data is lost. But in USB, there is a possibility of making it persistent, where whatever work you have done on the live USB, even after reboot, if you have saved it, you can retrieve back the data. The next component which I am going to talk about is the Web 2.0 technologies. I am sure most of the learners must be familiar with the Web 2.0 technologies. Web 2.0 technologies include your social networking sites, your professional networking sites, and blogs and wikis. So let us see a few of them now. Blog is nothing but a journal which is maintained online. Initially it started as a pastime for certain users who wanted to log their daily diary online instead of writing in a book. But now they have gained a lot of importance because many professionals and academicians, teachers, students, they share their opinions, their feedback, their views about topics, about software, about hardware, etc. on their personal blogs. So these have lot of potential value, especially for special libraries in terms of getting information from these blogs. Now you can create a blog in two ways. Either you can already use an existing service like blogger.com, make your account in blogger.com and start blogging immediately. Another option for you as a library, which would be much more preferable, is have a server of your own at the library, install a blog software, something like WordPress or Movable Type, which are open source software, host it on your server, make your library users the users and let them also contribute to the content. It is not only blog and the best advantage of Web 2.0 technologies is that not only can you get feedback from the users, but also you can use it as a content creation, because Web 2.0 technologies allow even users to contribute content to the library. The other technology in Web 2.0 is Wikis. I am sure most learners are very familiar with the most popular wiki in the world today, that is the Wikipedia. So wikis are slightly different from blogs in the sense blogs are used by individuals for expressing their individual views. But wikis are being used now to generate professional content collaboratively, either collaboration between individuals, professionals or individual professionals, or collaboration between organizations. Again, with wiki also there are two ways libraries can use. One is use an already existing wiki website like wikispaces.com, or you can, the more better and professional way would be to host your own wiki service using software like MediaWiki, which is also used by Wikipedia, or Twiki, and there are many more such open source software available. The next Web 2.0 technology are social networking websites and also professional networking websites. Basically, professional networking sites are also social networking, but they are meant more for professional networking rather than individual. Social networking websites have become a very important tool for libraries to connect with their users. In Facebook and Twitter and in ResearchGate and academia.edu, already there are many library and information science related groups. You should identify them, join those groups, because lot of updations regarding our profession are posted on it by other library professionals. The next technology is the media sharing websites. We all know about YouTube. It is the most popular one right now, where users can upload their own videos, and there are many other useful channels. For example, IGNU, which has made all its video lectures available on YouTube. Even EPG Pathshala, most of the lectures are also available on YouTube. Of course, on the website you will get along with other related content like the lessons and self-learning answers and questions. Here I would like to discuss the term Library 2.0. There is a lot of debate in the community regarding what actually it means. But to understand or to debate that, we first need to understand the term Web 2.0. Because Web 2.0, the term was originally coined by Tim O'Reilly at a conference. But this term is highly contested by the founder of World Wide Web, WWW, that is Tim Berners-Lee. Because he says this is not the wikis, blogs, social networking sites are not the second generation of web. These are tools which are added to an already existing infrastructure of the World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee says that when he founded World Wide Web, its main intention was collaboration. So hence this is not a new version and should not be termed as Web 2.0. But it has become very popular, and in a similar way Library 2.0 has become very popular. But there is still a debate among professionals what it exactly means. Does it mean simply applying Web 2.0 to the libraries and you can call it Library 2.0, or libraries services have seen really some seminal changes due to these technologies? This is to be seen in future, but for now we have to keep updated ourselves and we have to know these technologies and connect to our users and try to collaborate with them. The next component which I am going to talk about is virtual library. Let me disambiguate this term first. Virtual library is a digital library in the sense that it is hosted using digital components, and the information sources are not concrete, they do not have physical existence. But virtual library here particularly I am using not only for digital information but also for the whole environment of library which can be simulated through computers. That is not only the content but also the feeling of the building, the surroundings, the environment, the users around the library staff, the stacks, the reading section. All these will be simulated as in real life but in the computer. So you actually get the feeling that you are entering a library premises, you are walking through the shelves, you are actually picking up books and reading them, and you are as if you are actually interacting with the library staff. I would like to suggest to the learners that they please go through a website called secondlife.com, where there are many virtual libraries available. But you may require a high-end computer to access these websites because they are highly graphic intensive. But still it is worth a shot. You please do try to look into these. The examples of libraries from the Second Life are given in the lesson. So please keep the text of the lesson with you while going through it. Next, I would like to discuss a few points on the challenges you are going to face when you try to implement virtual libraries. If you are trying to implement a virtual library either on secondlife.com or you are trying to start from scratch in your own library, The first and foremost would be you will require high-end computing facilities for this. As I already told, it is a very graphic intensive process, so you will require very high specifications for storage, for networking, because storage will not only be content, but you will need to store user data, you will need to store library staff data, you will need to store circulation transactions have to be stored. Then next comes giving authentication, because this is all going to be online. You are going to have to give authentications to the users. You have to pre-plan how the authentication system is going to be implemented. Then another difficulty which the management might face is the balancing of offline and online duties. In the sense, when will your online duty end? Because internet will be up 24/7. So hopefully your virtual library is going to be up 24/7. But will it be possible for your staff to work 24/7? No. But there has to be certain system in place where users, if they come across any trouble any time of day or night, it should be resolved in as soon as possible. Then of course you have to take care of the limitations of functionality. Are you going to put any limitations on the functionality? Because this is a new concept for both your library staff as well as the users. So are you going to put any limitations of any kind? And then compensation of work, because as I told earlier, when will the online duty start end? Offline duties we know 9 to 5 we work. But in online, where do we start, where do we end? If adequate compensation is not given to the library staff, they may not be willing for such kind of commitment in future. So the management has to look into these not only technology and hardware and software aspects, but also into the human resources aspects. To summarize, we have learnt that National Knowledge Commission makes it imperative by its recommendations to the libraries that ICTs have to be implemented in the libraries, and so free and open source software and open standards also become essential in this endeavor. And in this regard, I have dealt with free and open source software, live CDs, Web 2.0 technologies and virtual libraries. So special libraries, being special in their needs, their user group, need to especially keep in touch with the latest technologies. Please refer to the e-text for more details.